What's up, Summoners? My name is Nathaning and I'll be the host for this video. This video's topic is the upcoming changes to patch 12.6. It's been a long patch, so if you're dying to know what changes you can finally expect to see, look no further. I'll cover them here, but do note that what we do cover is based heavily on what's on the PvE and is subject to change. On that note, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on future content like this, and let's get started. We'll start with what gets most players excited, the skins. First up is Ashen Knight Pike, featuring new models, textures, visual effects, sound effects, and even a new recall. Next up are the skins from the battle line. Battle Bat Vayne, Battle Bunny Misfortune and Riven, Battle Cat Jinx, and a Prestige edition for her, and Battle Wolf Silas are all on the PvE. Expect these skins at the live server very soon. I'm sure a lot of us are pretty excited for these, but honestly not me. I like the edgier stuff. These upcoming skins might impact the meta heavily, and if you want to get a head start on adapting to it, make sure you contact one of our coaches at ProGuides.com. If the next patch proves to be a struggle early on, our incredible staff can go ahead and provide you some insight and also help you improve your gameplay to continue climbing. First for balance changes are the system adjustments. Sustain has been a thorn in many players' sides for far too long. Even after various changes, it continues to heavily impact the game, often in negative ways. Next patch, Vampiric Scepter as well as items it builds into are up for nerfs. The amount of lifestealing items like Bloodthirster, Immortal Shieldbow, and Blade of the Rune King are facing a similar nerf for their lifesteal stat. However, Immortal Shieldbow isn't receiving only a nerf. It'll also have some power shifted to its mythic passive. Players will gain more bonus health for each legendary item completed. At the moment, Vampiric Scepter, Blade of the Rune King, and Shieldbow will have their lifesteal lowered by 2%. On the other hand, Bloodthirster faces a heftier nerf of 5% but will gain 5 bonus damage to compensate for it. One mythic item is up for what's presumably a buff, however. If these changes go through, it's actually a huge one too. Divine Summoner's damage will be changed from current health to total max health. This makes it just as effective at cutting through tanks from the start to finish of fights. In addition, the healing is also expected to receive a solid buff as well. Currently, you heal for a percentage of bonus damage dealt with Divine Summoner's effect. However, the healing will be changed to always be a flat amount of the enemy's maximum health. The reason that this could potentially be a buff is that Divine Summoner's healing will no longer be cut down by an enemy player's resistances. With items covered, let's run through the runes next. First for the runes is Fleet Footwork, which will have its healing ratios reduced. Legend Bloodline will have its healing reduced as well, but just like Shieldbow, it'll provide more health. After maxing out the stacks, you'll tentatively be granted 100 bonus health. The biggest upcoming change is the removal of Ravenous Hunter. This change will certainly have a gigantic impact on the game. Many champions will lose access to sustain that they previously didn't have. Others will be a lot less oppressive as they won't be able to cheat and access more. I mean, plenty of players are taking this rune every single game. It's universally powerful. At worst, it's mediocre since any champion can benefit from healing. Since this rune was so easy to rely on, Riot plans to remove it. Most likely, this is to encourage players to actually adapt to each game and encourage a diverse set of playstyles. That said, they do have a replacement for it in mind. Namely, it'll be the new rune called Treasure Hunter. It'll be the same tier as Ravenous Hunter, meaning that it'll also work on a stack system based on the champion takedowns. As the name suggests, it'll grant players bonus gold for the first time that they gain a takedown on a unique enemy champion. Bonus gold should add up and allow players to snowball off of early game leads if they can pick up enough unique takedowns. Tentatively, gaining every stack will provide 550 extra gold, definitely not an insignificant amount. Without a doubt, there's a big risk to taking this rune. If you're unable to pick up the kills or assists early, you've sacrificed some combat power that you could have received by taking a different one. Before moving forward, let me ask you our question of the day. Do you agree or disagree with the potential removal of Ravenous Hunter? I'm personally in favor of it because Sustain is too accessible because of it. This makes a lot of champions much safer than they should be, and I prefer games that reward taking risks. Let me know your answers in the comments down below. That wraps up the system changes, so let's talk about the champion changes next. At the moment, we don't know too many upcoming champion changes. I wouldn't be too surprised if we saw one more patch day come around. For now, we do expect to see some jungle changes. One giant change that we hope to see on patch 12.6 is for Rengar. Riot has put in a lot of time trying to put him in a better place, especially because of the latest season's changes to the Summoner's Rift that has created some unexpected interactions that negatively affected him. The upcoming adjustments are intended to only help Rengar. In other words, he's due for some serious buffs. First, his ferocity fall-off time has been increased by 2 seconds, giving players a bigger window to stay in combat. In addition, his Bone Tooth Necklace forgiveness timer is also being doubled from 1.5 to 3 seconds. This is another huge power change, since players will be more easily able to stack up his Bone Tooth Necklace and hit that maximum power. Next are a handful of quality of life changes. The timing on his leap will be more consistent moving forward. His range while leaping will also be increased slightly. He'll also have his jump height slightly increased, and his secondary resource bar will display stacks as well as which one came from his leap. Another big change is for his Q. Moving forward, Rengar's Q will always count as a critical strike and convert each percent of critical strike chance into another point of damage. It'll work on towers, making it more forgiving to use on them, and also serve to increase his pressure in the side lane. In most cases, this change will simply allow him to get more out of a successful gank and better assist his teammates in taking down turrets. The reason this change is huge is because it sets the foundation for future balance changes. Like we mentioned in our previous video, by making it so that Rengar always crits, low crit rate builds aren't nearly as risky as before. Players don't have to prey on the RNG gods for that random crit to take out their enemies and instead have consistent damage that they can expect to get used to. In addition, if crit chance builds end up being too powerful in the future, Riot will have a way to directly target them. His E is also receiving a huge buff. First, there will be no cast time if casted while leaping. This is obviously a ginormous buff, but it'll especially prove useful against immobile enemies who will be forced to preemptively burn flash. In addition, the ability will reveal its target for 2 seconds. The final change will be to his ultimate. In addition to revealing his target, it will reveal a small area around them. As a result, Rengar will have much more information to work with, and in many cases, won't have to jump in blind. Even if it's just some extra information, every buff helps it, and we know information is key. So this buff will help impact a player's decision making on the fly. Finally, a couple of other jungle champions are expected to receive some changes. One is that to Hecarim's E damage, and that's expected to be reduced. We don't have any final information just yet, but if you hate the Horseman, you're probably glad to see this and any type of nerf. Finally, Nidalee is expected to have her W and E's mana cost reduced. Although it's not that big, which I hear quite often when it comes to changes, experienced Nidalee players will certainly find themselves in situations where the buffs will matter. I don't expect her win rate to jump up significantly, but a buff is still a buff. And that concludes our upcoming changes for patch 12.6. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments down below, and also feel free to share any feedback for the video. Make sure you guys stay in touch with us and join our Discord. Check out the description for a link. I hope y'all enjoy the rest of your day, because you all deserve it. Good luck on the grind and that climb. I'm rooting for y'all, in and out of the game. Thanks for watching.